Hello there and welcome to the very first Forged Alliance Forever cast here on the new Games with Brains FAF Cast Division channel. We've broken off into two and this channel is going to be exclusively for Forged Alliance Forever games, the offshoot from the original Games with Brains channel. And this in theory, should prevent people getting notifications for games that they're not interested in. So if you liked the other games that were on the Games with Brains channel, make sure you stay subscribed over there. If you're only into the Forged Alliance Forever stuff, this is the place where you want to be. We're going to kick off today with a Sunday 1 versus 1 special. Now, I realise it's not Sunday. As I'm sat here doing this, it's Monday. So why call it Sunday special? Well, two reasons. Number one, I intend it to be every Sunday. And number two, yesterday was Sunday, but I'd forgotten that when you create a new channel, which is this is, you have to wait 24 hours until you can do a stream or a video that lasts longer than 15 minutes. And so there is that. Taking a look then, this here is at least a first iteration of the FAF Cast Division splash screen that I've made. We've got the FAF logo there in the middle together with the 4 factions represented. And so with that done, let's go on and get into it then. It's a 1 versus 1, KELI versus DCC 97. And at some point, I'm going to sort out the fact that we didn't have music there either. All of that stuff to come. All right, we will resolve the situation momentarily. But for now, here we go. Unpause and kaboom. This one going down on Sirius Major, one of the original maps that was out, I think even in Supreme Commander days, before even Forged Alliance was a thing. Never mind Forged Alliance 11. And so starting on the left side, just because, we like to work from left to right, certainly if you were born in the country that I was in. And it's KELI, UEF 1483 rated, going first land. His opponent, DCCC 97. In red, 1686 rated. Going first land as Aeon faction. So the red guy on the right in Aeon, on the left in blue, the UEF, and a massive rating discrepancy. 1483 on the left, 1686 on the right. That means a hair above 200 rating points between them. What does that mean? That means, I don't want to put an exact number on it, but let's say 5 games out of 6, we would expect the guy with 200 plus rating points ahead to win. On that 6th game, we'd expect it to go to the lower guy, KELI. What it also means is, for KELI, he says, hi, good luck, have fun, CC90. If I say DC97, I think we all know who I'm on about. Hi, good luck, have fun. And so, yeah, really, this game is DC97's to lose. And what that means is, again, we're saying 80% plus, we would expect DC to win this. And so, he's got his work cut out because the pressure is all on him not to lose. Everybody would expect KELI to lose the vast majority of the time in this game. And so the pressure really is on, and I remember playing these sort of games, and I hated these sort of games, and here's why. Because we would expect the higher rated guy to win, in this case DC97, the majority of the time, the scoring system is set up in such a way that if you play a guy that's much lower than your rate, and we were, let's say 210 points is quite a bit lower than your rating, the system is already expecting the game to go his way the vast majority of the time. And if it does, because he is so far ahead of his opponent already, he is going to be credited with a very small number of points. On the other side, the system is expecting KELI, the blue UEF player, to lose the vast majority of the time, and because he's been given an opponent that on paper is a lot stronger than he is, the system says, well, you're probably going to lose, but if you do, you're only going to lose a few points. That makes sense, and that's what kind of balances out. However, flip side to this, as we start missing some of the initial action there. Looks like KELI did lose an engineer and potentially is going to lose a second one to this raiding lab here. The flip side to this equation goes as follows. If the guy the system reckons is going to win ends up losing, he doesn't gain a few points, clearly, because he lost, but he doesn't lose a few points. He loses a lot of points, and the reason is because the system's expecting him to win. The flip side for KELI, and looks like the lab there manages to pick off one, and does he get the engineer? Well, there's a hair of health left, and DC's lab does pick off that NG. That flare there, or the light assault bot belonging to DC-97, certainly paying for itself. And so, yeah, flip side, as we watch this bomber now from DC-97, who doesn't get his bomb off. That was oh, it does. I just didn't hear it. Picking off engineers. So from the first 3 or 4 minutes here, game massively going DC-97's way. And so, yeah, if KELI loses, he loses a little bit. But as we said, flip side, because he's behind his opponent in terms of rating, if he wins, he's going to gain a lot of points. And so, again, everything to lose on DC-97's, not much to gain, everything to gain. And so, the pressure really is on DC-97. And KELI, well, if he loses, he was kind of going to lose anyway. But if he wins, big rewards to be had. And so that's why, in a real long, convoluted way of explaining it, I used to really like these games as the underdog. I really hated playing them if you were the guy that was 200 or 300 points ahead, and there is why. KELI, having dealt with the initial attacks, there is one lab waiting down, also with 2 kills. This was the lab, I think, that run around here, and it looks like the striker there from KELI was not ordered to pursue the Mantis. What am I talking about? Different faction altogether. And so looks like here as we approach minute 5, KELI with the land factory in the middle. I guess he's thinking about trying to reclaim these structures. This civilian quantum gateway, if you get your artillery to destroy it, is worth a lot of mass in addition to a few of the other structures, and that can really help boost the economy. This is what KELI sees, just to give you a little idea. You see his scout here. He has recognized that he's pulling quite a lot of forces back. Not sure if that's maybe excessive. Also with his first bomber here, and take a look at this. Bomber does pick off the expanding engineer there from DC-97. So nice to see something going KELI's way down here as well. And KELI has managed to get an engineer all the way over here, which, you know, up on a ledge, all the way around this one, through the other side. And DC-97 sends in a solitary tank, the floaty Auroras, and says, "You ain't having that, pal. Give it back." Although KELI does have a bomber waiting, Tech 1, so if he's quick on the mark, he may get it. Another nice bomb coming in here from KELI. Oh, that's gonna hurt. 6 kills. Very nice indeed. And the bomber's not even dead. I thought he was gonna die. Let's see. Oh, and KELI is quick off the mark. Look at this. He gets the bomber up. Oh, but this bomber here goes down. These 2 strikers from KELI pick off the expanding engineer here from DC-97. And unfortunately, he doesn't get it, but picks off an engineer from DC-97 before he's able to establish the factory here. This is DC-97. You could say, I don't know, primary. Let's call it the secondary expansion, the primary one being in the middle. So we'll do the same for the flip side. KELI's main base, primary, and his secondary. Well, you could argue the middle there, not really a base. But now we've got ACU on ACU, and there we see there's about 2,300 mass left in the quantum gateway. But with DC-97 raining artillery down, KELI is not going to be able to hang around. He's going to have to get creative with fancy footwork to avoid too many of those shells landing on it. And it looks like DC-97 is going to take the opportunity to just capture all the mass. And it looks like KELI, not really too concerned about the mass, is more concerned about chewing away the health and avoiding those artillery shells. And then again with the Tech 1 bomber. KELI, I really like the way that he's using his Tech 1 bombers. And this flare from DC-97 just left right out of the way, hoping that a solitary engineer comes trundling down here and that KELI doesn't realize radar or via some other way what's going on. But coming down now to the middle. Well, looks like we're both ACUs quite heavily damaged. KELI elects better safe than sorry, pulling away another really nice bomb there. 9 kills from this Tech 1 bomber. And I don't believe it. KELI, having broken through on the top side, he's got some units through over here. Looks like, oh, there is a Tech 1 point defense there from DC-97. That preventing a complete overrun. You see, KELI recognizes it, pulls away, but the time it's going to take his artillery to punch through that allows DC-97 to get some reinforcements in. That will hold the front line. At first, I thought KELI's going to barge his way through, but thanks to that solitary Tech 1 point defense that was walled off, buys him just enough time. But KELI, with a few units he did get through earlier on, has completely cleared this out. DC-97's already got a single engineer he's got in the area, given all the orders to recapture these. Having another look on the south side, things are much more stable down here. And KELI grabbed any intel here, he would be pushing through. But again, this is all that he can see. He sees a solitary unit there, and he's got no way of knowing that there are perhaps not more units right behind it. He may think it's his Tech 1 scout giving him that information. It's actually this radar. And so if he really thought about it, he would be able to move on in. He's also got a secondary item here on radar, but it could be, you know, a Tech 1 aircraft that's landed. Again, he's not moving in. Task saturated. Looks like he's thinking about coming over here. Now, DC-97, he left this solitary Aurora over here that got the 2 mass points as well as the engineer. That Aurora will have seen this transport ship from KELI coming in. It looks like the players pausing there temporarily. Back, thanks, says DC-97. So DC-97 looks like a little bit distracted. And here we have light assault bot and light assault bot taking one another out, but KELI won't mind about that. He's cleared out the problem that would have easily taken on one of his engineers, and we see he's already got one engineer moving in now. So the drop there from KELI does manage to pick off the engineer that was trying to rebuild, and there are at least 3 mass extractors, now 4, that need rebuilding. DC-97 already with another engineer set to move in. And I love what I'm seeing here. KELI moving in with yet another drop, and it looks like he's just going after the mass options belonging to DC-97. So as we get into the 11th minute here, let's have a look. What does that actually mean on paper? Well, on the income side, DC-97 66, KELI 55. And so not as much as I had initially thought the benefit would have brought him. I guess KELI has spent a lot more time getting creative around the map. DC was hoping he could sit in the rear and tech up a little bit, and to some extent that's working, but KELI is certainly not letting him sit on the laurels. The higher rated player, I think at this point, we take a look from DC's point of view. He sees strong forces coming through here, very strong forces here, forces through the middle. He's got to be thinking, shit, I need to start and play proper, otherwise I'm going to lose. There's a minor run by here, and this potentially could pick off engineers as well as a mass extractor there belonging to DC. DC very strong here, a lot of military, ACU, Tech 1 point defense. KELI showing why you never present the flank of your army towards an army that's presenting their front to you. Terrible result there for KELI. Loses a lot of units unnecessarily, does though get a Tech 1 bomber in, but At this point, that feels like a bit of a consolation prize. In comes another, but gets shot down. Oh no, hangs on, does then get shot down. Let's say hangs on with a hair of its health left, but no. And look at this, KELI sending just enough units to deal with. Right, you've got one tank. Okay, I'll send in two, as well as the artillery piece. DC-97, meanwhile, looks like he's managed to get a couple of Tech 2s on the front line, and that is going to go very nice for him. KELI at this stage, still Tech 1. And so despite lack of numbers for DC-97, we've now got a third Tech 2 unit. That's the shield. KELI's opportunity to push through on the south side looks like it's been and gone. He's still looking very strong in the middle. It's all him. And at the top, although he doesn't have a huge number, they're all his. And an artillery shell there lands, takes out 2 units belonging to DC-97. Sometimes, you know, you're lucky. And once again, terrible sight, presenting the flank of his army. KELI, what are you doing? You're losing numbers here needlessly. And he finally recognizes it, but not before losing at least another 7 or 8 units there. DC-97 got to be feeling good about that, pushing what looked like an overwhelming force not long ago back. And KELI continues to move in here with his Tech 1 bombers, picks off a mass extractor Tech 1. Just gotta wonder, what's he trying to do? Is he just going after the mass options of his opponent? It looks like it. KELI must think, having taken out these here and now these here, that his opponent must be struggling for mass, especially when KELI's got control of over 50% of the map. What he's maybe not realized is DC has completely capped off his mass extractors in base, and for now is 13 mass per tick ahead despite the lack of territory. KELI now with Tech 2. He's got pillars on the line. He's had a couple of flak units in the middle there for a little while. And pillars were versus obsidians. Well, if you go for them, you've got to finish them off, because otherwise the obsidian shield will just regenerate. And so this here, you've taken out the shield, you've got to finish them off. Otherwise, these obsidians, the shield regenerates, and you may as well not have bothered. They've already got kills. And looks like KELI recognizes that. Yeah, let's finish these off before the shield comes back. And like that, boom. I don't like the front here. I don't understand why KELI keeps presenting a front sort of like this. What he needs to do is arrange his units so they have a face more like that, and then when his opponent comes through here... Very nice bombing run there from KELI. I'd love to know how many those got, but we can see there on the damage to the formation, at least 10 units between. This one may get a second pass before he gets picked off. 4 kills, unfortunately goes down, but we can see at least another 3 or 4 more. KELI doing really well at the Tech 1 air stage. And he's not finished, he's sending in 2 more. Just have a Tech 2 radar on the hill, just to give you an idea of how far that can see. Well, there's the answer. This time, though, DC does pick him up, but still lets 1 bomber through, and we can see there that 1 bomber taking out 3 further land units. And DC-97 says, I'm shutting this down at source. You've had enough of that. We'll have to see. KELI here, Tech 2 HQ, 84% on the way to Tech 3. He needs some sort of flak. Any air that he trickles out is just going to get lost at this point. And I reckon DC is going to hang around base as long as he can. DC now pushing ways back with the sniper com, the Aeon gun commander. course, gets the additional range for 2/3 of the cost of the other races, but then has to research rate of fire separately for 2/3 of the cost of the other races. And so you may say, well, 4/3, how's that fair? Well, it isn't, but in exchange, he gets just that little bit more range than everybody else. And so ultimately, it's fair, although it does take up 2 of the 3 upgrade slots on the ACU, whereas the other races just use 1. And DC still looking strong. And there, finally, we see the Tech 2 flak. And with it, DC thinks, yeah, I've forced you to build a flak, I'm off. DC now with 3 Tech 3 harbs on the front line. Here we see them. And these are just going to disintegrate what KELI's got there. KELI is forced to retreat. He does have a number of Tech 2 pillars, but they're only going to last so long versus harbs, especially when the harbs come with a Tech 2 shield as well. This force from DC-97 almost for sure is going to crush this. Does KELI know what he's dealing with here? I mean, he's moving in. Partially moving in. He is trying to present a front, but it's these units here are getting confused. And there we can see it. KELI realizing, oh shit, you've got more than me. He's staying there. I guess he realizes if he pulls back, the harbs will be able to exploit the range. He does manage to kill one of them. One heavily damaged. And I think he's taken out the mobile shield. He manages to get a Tech 1 point defense up as well that scores a few kills. And a flak that is now having its way with DC's now air. Look at his air. Oh, that is horrific. That is a thing of beauty when you see that is what flak is for. In comes a Tech 1 bomber. That's going to get picked up. And the entire air belonging to DC-97 there going down. How many kills did that flak have? Well, that one there has got 10. Are there any more in the area? That's the only flak in the area. Took out all 10 by itself. Very nice. Sniper comm here from DC-97 continuing to do its thing. Full health. Gotta be careful though. We could easily get swarmed by this army. It does have plenty of units behind, but you want to keep them, you know, somewhat closer to the ACU. KELI's well aware he's there. He's got his fighters over the top. And problem here on the south side, we see KELI's ACU is in the area. He's got Tech 2. Does he have the gun as well is the question. The answer is no. At 20 minutes, coming up to 21. Oh, don't change the speed observer. There we go. KELI not yet with the gun. UEF capable of tech and gun at the same time. With Aeon, depends which way you're going, right? And he's got both guns, which doesn't allow him, if I recall right, to get the tech arm as well. He's got the shield, he's got the sniper. Yeah, so the range, it's either range or tech for the Aeon. Rate of fire or the sensor suite. Correction, he doesn't yet have the shield. I was going to say, how did he find time to get the shield? But either way, the original point there made, Aeon, it is a choice between range. And now we're seeing mobile missile launchers from KELI, which they're not the most deadly unit, but if you bring them in at the right time and your opponent hasn't got defense in, they're going to be able to pick stuff off at range, and it will force your opponent to either attack or retreat or respond in some other way, i.e. build missile defense or whatever. And it looks like KELI's thinking static missile defense in a minute. He does have, wow, look at this, apologies. He's got a tactical missile launcher there, 3 vet with 13 kills, and he's forced DC-97 into an attack. I guess DC has to kill this at all costs, and he is going to get it. KELI's moving in, trying to hold the position with Titans of his own. Does the missile launcher get one more missile off? Looks like DC. There he is. He does kill it. KELI's still looking strong at the north. And it looks like DC has sent Spam and the commander up the top. And the technology for DC-97, well, down south and in the mid. And here as we get to minute 23, don't forget the blue guy is the weaker of the two on paper, and yet has been holding at least 50 if not 60% of the map for the majority of the game. And finally it looks like at 23, blue holding the 3 masts in the middle there, red the 3 masts there, and in the middle is a no man's land. So I think we can call this a 50-50 with a minor exception of these 2 mast points here also holding belonging to KELI. KELI's got these 2. I am going to guess it's only a matter of time before DC-97 sends 1 unit down here to put a stop to that. Meanwhile, KELI looks like another probing attack, realizes it's going nowhere and starts pulling back. DC's ACU with 52 kills so far. That's a 2-star commander. Obsidian there from DC moves into the front line, bit off slightly more than it can chew. And KELI now with the attack reclaim orders from the factories. It looks like DC-97 think you've sent enough shit down the mid for this game. I'm shielding up and point defense into the hill. And unless KELI starts bringing in longer range artillery pieces or decides to stick a Ravager, I think that will prevent him going through the mid, at least for the foreseeable. And as we'd guessed here, DC-97 does indeed cap these 2 masts. And with that, it is a 50-50 split. As we get up to now minute 25, in a few seconds we'll take a quick look here. Mass income 147 favouring KELI, 126 to DC-97, and that will have been due to the additional territory that has allowed KELI to have more of a mass income at the lower price. You know, Tech 1 mass points are much cheaper to build than Tech 2. That will have allowed the expansion. The continued raids up here from KELI, that will have prevented DC from being able to tech up. And of course we had the missile launcher here that no doubt went after some of the capped off mass points. And here we see them. We see the missing caps there, and there's one missing here. Almost for sure one missile went here and here. And with that, DC on the back foot economically. Mass totals 140,000 for KELI, 133,000 for DC-97. So around 5% or so between them, favouring KELI, the weaker of the two. DC now showing he knows how to use the Tech 1 bombers as well, and starts taking KELI's task force to town. Flak having a little bit of difficulty dealing with the bombers, and I'm surprised just how many units KELI's lost there. Bombers with multiple kills, just Tech 1 bombers despite the Flak unit. KELI is finally moving some air in, and KELI's also finding out firsthand why he is not going to get through the middle without very heavy losses. Gets one Titan very heavily damaged, out of dodge just in time. Don't send your this is a mistake here. KELI's factory orders are to move in and group here. And if DC had a radar, which he does not, that bot is not long for the world. Kind of surprised DC not with any radars at this point in the game. Is however continuously setting in these Tech 1 bombers onto KELI's army, and has weakened it considerably. And for the first time all game, looks like DC-97 may be thinking about pushing through. KELI on full retreat here. upgrading all of these mass extractors to Tech 2, so this is not a spot that KELI would want to lose. He does have a Tech 3 mobile artillery here, and what this is going to do, continually soften the army here from DC-97, but it will force him to either attack or defend. You can't have an army on the front line that is eating long-range artillery like this, because every time something lands... Mobile missile there, flying smack into DC's commander. Just by chance, I think. Well, it will have been enough to upset him. And DC-97 does look like he's pushing through. All of these mass extractors just turned Tech 2 from KELI. And he's going to have about 30 seconds benefit from them. The T3 artillery continues to damage units, but he's going to have to move this out of the way if he wants to hang on to it. This army from KELI and DC-97, he's got the yes he does, the chrono dampener. At the same time, DC-97 looks like he's overrunning the south here from KELI, and for the first time all game here, as we approach minute 29, it looks like KELI is in a spot of bother. He continues to send units here from this T3 support factory that are getting damaged. KELI going very heavy on the power generation. Is he intending to go mass air or fire billies with his commander? What's he doing? His commander still over here. Looks like his commander is left to plug the gap at the back, and he's sending everything over here. There are a few Titans that are allowing themselves to have their way with DC-97's expeditionary forces. He does throw them back. I'm surprised DC-97 ran away as quick as he did. He was maybe fearing that KELI was going to follow that up with something more. Truth be told, KELI had nothing more. KELI playing the UEF Turtle at this point. The problem is, if you go Turtle, as we see here, it leaves you very exposed. Sure, does wonders for your economy, providing your opponent just lets you sit back and build it. Very little defense, no tactical missile defense. If KELI wanted to, if DC wanted to, he could pick all of KELI's structures off here. These are all capped off Tech 2 mechs. Air from KELI. Landing, taking fire from tanks. Finally realizes it. KELI, I don't understand what he's doing. He's making these very limited attacks. And DC looks like he's happy to try and entice him in. Hey, come this way. You know, there's a bank of 1 million point events, Tech 1 and Tech 2, but come this way regardless. It looks like KELI thinks, no thanks. I've seen it. I'll wait here. You come this way. Is that long-range demolisher fire again? There's your answer. Yes, it is. And once again, it's going to force DC to either advance or defend. And DC now, I don't believe it, from the 1686 ranked player, is going all point defense up at the north side. He's plugged the south gap with point defense. He's plugged the middle with point defense. This, to me, can only mean one thing. DC-97 is intending on going Turtle. There's no other reason why you'd dump this much economy into point defense. And if he's going Turtle, well, here's why. He wants to buy himself enough time to finish this. GC from DC-97 going up very fast. He's self-destructing factories to use to reclaim as mass. DC has equalized the mass income. It's 188. Sorry, as I speak, yeah, 188 to 179. Favoring KELI only just. But with the recent battles having gone DC's way, I'm sure DC's reclaim will be... And there it is, yeah. DC's reclaim 63,000 versus 44,000. So about 20,000 extra reclaim for the red guy. And that is why, despite being slightly behind on economy, income, he's been able to keep level. And again, KELI with these probing attacks walking into a wall of point defense. DC 97 now, minute 33 with ASF on the front line and more than some. KELI with nothing more than Tech 1 interceptors. He has one Tech 3 fighter. He does, however, I'm sure I saw Sam, and there it is. SAM sight from KELI in his base. That will at least prevent DC 97 from swarming his base with ASF, and it will certainly make strat bombers think twice. But now KELI looks like he's going increasingly heavy on the Tech 3 mobile artillery, the demolishers, and that will eventually punch through. But I don't think DC is going to worry too much about it. I think he thinks, by the time you knock and all through this, my GC will be ready. And his GC now, 2/3, 3/4 health. KELI with a sizable T3 number of units here. If he can bring demolishers and punch all through there, and it looks like DC 97 recognizes, yeah, this is getting dangerous. DC's commander buggers off home. I'm just wondering, does KELI have any idea there's a GC being built? Well, there's a bit of a clue. You can see there's a lot of engineers gathering around something, and this being KELI's view, even though he can't see it, if he were to move his mouse over there, just get curious, he would see that. And now he's going to know. He does have it on radar. Of course, he won't get that announcement that DC just had. And I'm just wondering, is he task saturated with the attack up here? I reckon DC will lure him into a false sense of security. He will allow this attack to come through, pull more and more of KELI's units out of position, i.e. on the north side of the map. I think we can expect the GC to swing through the south, unless he uses a GC to stop this attack, but then that is going to give KELI a lot of time to deal with it. So far, well, if there was a clue that KELI knew about it, here it is. Commander all the way back. The army he had on the front line that was starting to push through all the way back. DC balls to the wall moving in. KELI realizes, yeah, this is dangerous. So this here, the front line for KELI. And I'd like to see him use these units together a bit more. It's got point defense and shield. Down they go. Well, don't present the side of your formation. These are Percivals as well. And it looks like KELI's deciding to move in here and now. Shields going down at the worst possible time for KELI. KELI also with an attack up here, but this feels like it matters more. We've also got 3 broadswords from KELI. Make that 4. Restorers coming in from DC 97. The Restorers have got really good anti-air ability. The broadswords not so much. And KELI's starting to chuck everything but the kitchen sink at the GC, and the GC survives. Half of its hit points left, and at this point, starting to feel sorry for KELI. He lost the engage up here. He's run out of units to take on this. The Restorers are meanwhile dealing with... Well, they're going to get all of these mass points, it looks like. GC, multiple harbs continue to move in. And kitchen sink continues to get chucked at the advancing army. We've got Tech 2 point defense belonging to KELI, firing in to what is like a little arc / valley. And it looks like they were able to pick off one harp for their trouble. You did good on this one, says DC97. KELI says absolutely not. I played like a fucking nub. Well, I don't think so. I think you did really well. But one thing I didn't understand was you had so much of the map for so long and then everything sort of dried up. It allowed DC to get back into the game. I'm not sure what went wrong. What went wrong between that sort of early mid phase where you were really strong, by late mid game or early late game, whichever way you want to look at it, suddenly things go in DC97's way. Now we've got 3 strategic bombers here from KELI, and it looks like DC97's picked them up. He shoots down one of them. He shoots down 2. And he gets the 3rd. And with that, I think it's all but over now. And it is now. Ladies and gentlemen, very well played there. I hope you enjoyed that. And please remember, if I can get the correct overlay onto screen, that the channels have been split. You are here watching the new FAF Cast Division channel, if you like, the split from the original Games with Brains. I hope you enjoyed that one, and until next time, wherever in the world you may be, take care, bye-bye.